You know that moment when someone used to text you every day, and then suddenly, nothing. No good morning. No random memes. No, how was your day? At first, you think maybe they're busy. Then a few hours pass. Then a day. And now your mind starts doing something dangerous, replaying every conversation. Did I say something wrong? Did they lose interest? Did something happen? If you've ever experienced that sudden silence, this video might feel like someone explaining a mystery you've been stuck inside. Because when someone suddenly stops texting you, it's rarely random. There's usually a psychological shift happening beneath the surface, and most people never realize what it is. The first layer, attention and priority. Let's start with something simple. Texting isn't just communication, it's attention. Every message someone sends you means they paused their day, opened their phone, and decided that contacting you mattered in that moment. So when the messages suddenly stop, it often means one thing first. Your position in their mental priority list changed. Not necessarily forever, but in that moment, something else took the top spot. Work stress, another relationship, emotional confusion. The silence isn't always intentional. Sometimes attention simply moved somewhere else. The cognitive layer, emotional momentum. But there's another piece most people don't notice. Psychologists sometimes talk about something called emotional momentum. When two people are texting often, a rhythm forms. The brain starts expecting the next message. The conversation becomes part of daily routine. But if something interrupts that rhythm, even something small, the momentum can break. Maybe one person waited longer to reply. Maybe the conversation slowly lost energy. Maybe something in real life shifted their emotional state. And once the momentum breaks, restarting the conversation suddenly feels harder, even if nothing dramatic actually happened. The identity layer, perception and attraction. Here's something people rarely think about. Texting isn't just about information, it's about perception. Every interaction subtly shapes how two people see each other. Attraction, curiosity, excitement. These emotions depend heavily on mystery and emotional movement. Sometimes when communication becomes constant, predictable, or emotionally heavy, the dynamic shifts. What once felt exciting begins to feel routine. And when that emotional tension fades, the brain sometimes withdraws without consciously deciding to. Not out of cruelty, but out of instinct. The instinct layer, emotional distance. Human beings have a strange instinct when it comes to relationships. We move toward what feels exciting, and we move away from what feels overwhelming. If someone starts feeling pressure, emotional pressure, expectation, or responsibility, their brain may unconsciously create distance. One of the easiest ways to create distance in the modern world? Silence. No confrontation, no explanation, just fewer messages, and eventually none at all. It's not always mature, but psychologically, it's a very common avoidance response. The past experience layer. Attachment patterns. For some people, the silence goes even deeper. Our early relationship experiences shape how we handle closeness. Psychologists call these patterns attachment styles. Some people feel comfortable with emotional closeness. Others feel safe only when they maintain a certain distance. So when a connection starts becoming more emotionally intense, their instinct may be to step back, not because they dislike the person, but because closeness itself triggers discomfort. And in texting culture, pulling back is incredibly easy. You simply stop replying. The modern layer, digital communication. Modern communication has changed relationship dynamics completely. In the past, distance required effort. Today, silence requires nothing. A person can see your message, think about replying, and then get distracted by a notification, a call, or another conversation. And suddenly, hours have passed, then a day. And now the longer they wait, the more awkward replying feels. So instead of restarting the conversation, they avoid it entirely. But here's a question most people avoid asking themselves. Are you actually confused about why they stopped texting? Or are you hoping the silence doesn't mean what you suspect it might? because deep down, many people already feel the shift. The energy changed. The tone changed. The interest changed. The silence just made it undeniable. When someone suddenly stops texting you, it doesn't always mean you did something wrong. Sometimes it simply means the connection moved in a different direction for them. Relationships are not only built on compatibility, they're built on timing, emotional readiness, attention, and countless invisible factors happening inside someone else's mind. And silence, as uncomfortable as it feels, is still a form of communication. It just says something people often struggle to say out loud. And if you ask me for an advice, I'd say that if somebody is keeping you waiting, ghosting you, you totally deserve better. If you are not a priority for some reason, you don't really need them in your life. You need someone who will be sure and answer you whenever you call. So, if someone is doing this on purpose, keep in mind that silence is already the answer you're getting. Don't worry, my friend, there are plenty of fish in the sea. If this video helped you understand something you've experienced before, leave a like. And if you enjoy psychology that explains real human behavior, subscribe to the channel. Because understanding people is the first step to understanding relationships. I'll see you in the next one.